Good afternoon, Thunder Nation. What a year we've had. What a year we've had. The Oklahoma City Thunder, for the first time in franchise history, 18 years, are NBA champions. We are the champions of the NBA and the world. How on earth did we get here? Who is the greatest franchise player in Oklahoma City Thunder history? Where are we today? It is October 9th. The season's right around the corner. Our title as NBA champions is up for grabs once again here in a couple weeks. Where are we? Where are we headed? Where have we been? Who is this guy in front of a microphone talking to you right now? If these are the questions in your head, if these are the things you're thinking of, my friend, you are in the right place. So for the very first time in history, I say, welcome to the Will to Win show.
God after the gather, the two-step.
DB, those tears are but
seasons of NBA.
Silence everybody. Hats off to Mr. I said, I'm going to celebrate this until I can't celebrate anymore until the wheels fall. Who am I? That's the first question I want to answer that I presented to you. My name is Will. Okay? I'm sure a lot of you here are coming from Instagram. If you are, nice to see you again. My name is Will. I run the Instagram page, Thunder fan page, at OKC_Will to Win. You can see it written right here. And yeah, I just kind of want to start this show and start this this series, this everything, by telling you who I am. Because if I go ramble all about this stuff, all about this OKC Thunder news and takes and games and all of that, you need to know who I am first. So, I was born at a very young age, all right? The age of 0, okay? I'm from Arkansas. I grew up a huge Thunder fan, okay? I would say it was around 2011, 2012 when I started watching basketball. I grew up playing basketball in the driveway, playing basketball on rec teams, AAU teams. I ate, slept, and breathed basketball. And the Thunder were a big source of that. I would say it was around 2014 when I really got into the Thunder themselves, as I was 10 years old at that point. And my father actually took me to a Thunder playoff game. It was, this cup comes from that game. It was game 1 of the first round of the 2014 playoffs. The Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies. You got the Grizzlies with Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, all those guys. And the Thunder, Kevin Durant, Kendrick Perkins. I don't why did I say Kendrick Perkins' name second? That's disgraceful. Sorry, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka. We can throw Kendrick Perkins' name in there. Reggie Jackson, all those guys. A great era of Thunder basketball. And so yeah, that's kind of what made me fall in love with the Thunder. And since then, it's been Thunder, Thunder, Thunder for me. I've really, really gotten into it my entire life, and here I am now. I started this fan page 2 years, or I guess a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, about a year and 10 months ago. In December of 2023, I started the page OKC Will to Win. On that page, I've just posted whatever comes to my mind about the Thunder. Score recaps have been my main consistent source of posting. I'm sure if you're a follower, my score recaps is where I give my opinions and my analysis. And then I have, I post memes, I post, other analysis things. Anything Thunder, if you're on Instagram, go follow. Go check it out. As you can tell, this year is going to look a little different. I'm expanding into different aspects of social media. As here I am, obviously, if you're from Spotify, YouTube, or even if you're watching a clip on Instagram of this podcast today, this is what I'm expanding to: the Will to Win show. Okay, I took the name Will to Win, shoved it between the and show, and here we are. Okay, so in this podcast, we're going to do a lot of different things. Okay, each week's going to look a little different. I got to keep y'all on your toes. Okay, we're going to largely discuss what's going on in the realm of Thunder basketball from um, the past week to the future week. See if we can even expand beyond those boundaries. Whatever we need to talk about, we're going to talk about. My plan here is this to be your one-stop shop for weekly Thunder basketball updates, opinions, takes. You're going to learn quickly I'm a very opinionated person, and that a lot of what I say you might not agree with because I'm going to make a lot of bold claims. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to walk into a podcast, walk into a show, feed you. I'll give you some statistics. I'm not going to go feed you statistics, feed you just objective facts, objective fact, objective fact. I'm a fan. I'm a fan first. Y'all are fans. We're all fans together. And we're all going to have opinions, and that's the beauty of sports. It's entertainment for us. Okay? Sports provides us entertainment. And now I am taking sports and hopefully going to entertain you guys with some of the things I say. And yeah, if you disagree with them, let me know. Let's hear. I love to debate. I love to talk about things. And this is the beauty of it. And I'm so excited to be here and start this podcast. This is the first time I've ever sat behind a mic like this and done this. I guess I was a guest on some podcast last year. That's what really got me into this. Shout out to For the Love of Basketball, Gavin Zimmerer. He kind of got my shoe in the door with podcasting a little bit, and so go check him out. Yeah, I'm just honored to be here, honored to get to talk to you guys, and this is going to be a journey. Obviously, that's a very brief introduction to who I am, what this show is, what this show is going to be. It's going to be ever evolving, and you're going to see what this show is as I go through the episode today. I don't need to outline it for you right now because you're going to see the things we're going to do. And my goal is to keep you entertained and to keep that passion and that flame for Thunder basketball burning within you and spreading across the fan base, across Oklahoma. I now live in Oklahoma. I'm a college student here. So spread that flame across the state, across the nation. Thunder basketball is at an all-time high. And as fans, we have an obligation to continue to feed that. Sam Presti, this Thunder organization, has given us the best basketball I've ever seen. And so as fans, let's celebrate, man. Let's have fun with this. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I hope you're doing right now. So, with that being said, once again, welcome to the Will to Win show for the first time. I'm your host, Will, and this is Will to Win. Okay. To start this episode off, I mean, where do you start, right? I'm starting a podcast on October 9th, 2025, a couple months after the Thunder hoisted the Larry O'Brien trophy. This is our 18th year as a franchise, right? Ever since the move from Seattle. A lot has happened since in the time before I started this show. Obviously, I can't cover 18 years or 17 years of history in one episode. So, I thought we should definitely celebrate and recap our championship season. As you know, we have about 1 week and 1 day when this episode comes out until the NBA season 2025-26 begins. We got 1 week left to enjoy this championship summer. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to enjoy and celebrate and reflect and reminisce and relive, because that is what I like to do. If you've been a follower on my page, I told you from the start, ever since we won that trophy, I said, I'm going to celebrate this till I can't celebrate anymore until the wheels fall off. So, we're going to start off there. 68-14 record. The Thunder won 68 games last year. I watched that team play, I don't know how many times. I guess if you count every single series, 7-7, 14, 18, 23 plus 82. Goodness. 102. Okay. 105 is the number I got. I could be wrong. Minus preseason. 105 games last year. We turned the Thunder TV on 105 times, and we watched them lose 14 plus 3 plus 3, 20. We watched them lose 21 times out of 105. That's how good this team was, okay? They tied the 73 Celtics, 1973 Boston Celtics, for the 5th best record in NBA history. Tied for the 5th best record in NBA history. This was an all-time great team. Don't let the media, don't let the haters ever dissuade you, make you think that this run was less legendary than it was, because this was an all-time great run. And I don't know if we're ever going to see anything like this team did as Thunder fans ever again. That's why we're enjoying it, and that's why we're here discussing it. And one thing I want to mention, too, is something you're not going to hear in the media, is that the Thunder battled injuries all year long. All 15 men up and down the roster that contributed to this season, to this championship win. Chet Holmgren was out for a majority of the season. Isaiah Hartenstein was out for the first 2 to 3 months. Nicole Topic didn't even play a game, didn't touch the floor. And everybody stepped up, from AJ Mitchell to Brandon Carlson. How about Brandon Carlson in January against the Cleveland Cavaliers? He stepped up and he made plays and was a big part of that big-time win. Everybody stepped up and contributed. We're going to highlight certain people, obviously, but I want to highlight with the injuries that happened this year, this 68-14 team was a collective team. This was not 3 guys carrying the load the whole season. This was a team. More of a team than I've ever seen in maybe any sport. This is how sports were made to be played. The way this Thunder team battled, fought, and worked as a unit last year. And I'm so proud as a Thunder fan and so lucky to be able to witness that for as long as I did. And I hope you feel the same way. The Thunder had an average point differential of plus 12.9 points per game. 13 point. They won each game by 13 points. Average. That's insane. That's, not a blowout, but that's a substantial win. The Thunder weren't losing games much. They weren't losing by much when they lost. And when they won by a lot. That's why when we talk about these individual performances, J-Dub, Shea, Chet, etc., a lot of the time they weren't playing over 40 minutes a night. It was rare you saw Shea in a game for 40 minutes last year. That's how good this team was. They got in the court, did their job, built a lead, and got off the court. That's what this team did, and that's why they were so good. The most points scored by a team in a single season ever. A single season ever. 12,162 points. That's a league record. They got buckets. Not just that, the Oklahoma City Thunder have one of the greatest defenses of all time, and that's what you saw everyone saying last year. We were hanging our hat on our defense. Defense wins championships, and defense won the Thunder the NBA championship, okay? They forced the lowest league-wide opponent field goal percentage last year, so teams against the Thunder shot the worst when they played the Thunder. It makes sense when you think about it, as our wings and our bigs were an absolute nightmare for any opponent who stepped on the court against them. Imagine walking out of that tunnel in a Paycom Center. First off, our fans, incredible job last year, Thunder fans. If you went to any games, you did a great job. The crowd was better than we've ever seen it. Loud City was rocking and played a big role, 6th man for sure. So imagine you walk into that environment, right? And you have to run a play against Alex Caruso, Kasem Wallace, Luguentz Dort, Jalen Williams, Shea. Don't discount Shea and J-Dub and their defensive abilities. They are elite two-way players in this league, okay? Chet down low, Isaiah Hartenstein down low. You have these guys who are elite NBA defenders, and you get them all on one team together. I think Kasem Wallace, Alex Caruso, and Lou Dort are all 3 top 10 perimeter defenders in this league. I think Alex Caruso and Lou Dort are both top 5. I think they're top 2. Sue me. I'll say it. I'm not biased, I promise. I think that's facts. If you ask anyone in the NBA who they don't want to guard them, they're going to say Luguentz Dort or Alex Caruso. That's my reasoning. There's a lot more to say about that, but we'll keep going. So, if you combine that record-setting offense with that insane defense, you get the greatest regular season team in Thunder history. But obviously, they did not stop there. Okay, they did not stop there. The NBA playoffs is where the Thunder rose to the occasion. You heard it all year. In 2024, the Thunder got out of the first round went up to Dallas, and they couldn't handle the big moment. They weren't ready for the moment. You heard it so much last year. The underestimating. Yeah, Thunder are winning, 68 games. But when you get to the playoffs, Lakers in 5. Nuggets in 5. Isaiah Hartenstein ain't guarding Jokic. Come on. You hear all these narratives all year long. And I'll be honest, as a Thunder fan, that pissed me off. I'm watching my team go out there every single day, work their tail ends off, get results, win games by big margins, and you're acting like, oh, it's not legit. It's not real because, like, all these players aren't playing yet. Like, once they get to the playoffs, they'll really start trying. Well, I'll tell you what, the Thunder silence those narratives so quick. And that's why it's been a very quiet offseason. No one's talking because the Thunder silenced everybody. The Thunder silenced everyone. And that's why I'm so proud to be a fan. I'm listing a lot of reasons why I'm proud to be a fan. But this is a big recap here, okay? So we'll go into some playoff moments, okay? Game 1 against Memphis. Largest Game 1 victory ever. 51-point victory in Game 1. Insane. That sets the tone. Okay, the Thunder are messing around this year. Oh, no. They're going to sweep Memphis, okay? Memphis is not a real opponent, right? The Thunder, yeah, you can say they're here. You can say they're here, whatever. They're just young guys. They're not taking it seriously. Yeah. Wait till they see Jokic in round 2. Wait till they see the Denver, man. Like, be ready. And I'll be honest, after Game 1 against Denver, that Aaron Gordon game winner, the noise got loud. And as Thunder fans, you start to feel it. If you go back, I was a guest on Gavin's podcast. And after that, Game 1 loss to Denver. And the vibes were low. It was discouraging to see the Thunder lose like that. But I posted many times throughout the postseason. One thing the Thunder kept doing, and they did not stop doing, is responding. I posted, how tough is this team, about 3 or 4 times throughout the playoffs. And I learned that through this postseason that if you're going to win an NBA championship, you have to be able to respond. You're not going to go out there, maybe some of the best teams ever went out there and dominated every game in the playoffs. It's rare, though. The Thunder dominated a lot of games. But they were forced to respond in moments when they had to respond, and boy, did they. Game 2 against Denver, 87-point first half, the most first half points in a playoff game ever. That's the response of all responses. You go punch them in the freaking mouth. Another notable game where you're forced to respond, Thunder up 2-0 against Minnesota. You feel like you're rolling. You win Game 3 in Minnesota. Oh, and you're really rolling. You're rolling to the finals, baby. Losing by 40-plus points in Game 3 to Minnesota. Here comes the noise once again. Oh, yeah, that's it, man. Ant found his game. Minnesota found their way. Thunder are done. It's over. It's over, guys. Wrong. Game 4 against Minnesota, 128-126 victory until the finals began. That was the biggest win in Thunder history. Bigger than Game 7 against Denver. Obviously, that game was huge, and they played excellent. One thing I forgot to mention, Alex Caruso and Nikola Jokic was just one of the best matchups I've ever seen in my life. And the way he rose to the occasion, and we're going to touch more on Caruso later, incredible. And that Game 7 win against Denver, I had the privilege to be there, was definitely one of the top 5 Thunder win ever. But I think Game 4 in Minnesota, the Thunder had no business winning that game. Minnesota was in a groove. And Thunder had no momentum. But they scrapped and they clawed and they fought with... They didn't have much in the tank. They didn't really have much going from that game. But they clawed and they fought. And, you remember that play when Shea's driving in the paint. He does the splits. Has to squeeze it past Jada for the 3. And they just made it work. And they found a way. And they freaking responded to go up 3-1. Go up 3-1. That series is done. Okay. Game 5, take care of business. Whew. You know what's next, guys? The NBA freaking finals. First time since 2012 the Thunder ever reached the finals. Here comes Game 1. The vibes are high. If you saw my video, I posted a little hype video for the finals. I can almost see it. That dream I'm dreaming. The climb, all right? The Thunder were climbing up. Everyone was getting emotional because they felt as if, once you get through Denver, you think, okay, Thunder can beat Minnesota. The Thunder should be able to beat Indiana, right? the Thunder should be able to take care. I mean, this championship is ours to lose. You get that feeling. Denver was the best team left. The last thing the Thunder wanted to do was underestimate Indiana. I don't think they did, but Indiana, man, congrats on the Pacers for an incredible season. Okay, I know there's a lot of talk that goes on in that series, and from my account as well. We didn't like the Pacers at the time for things that were happening in that series with their fan base and stuff. But a lot of respect to their team for what they did in that season. One of the best seasons of all time from a team for sure. Game 1, absolute heartbreak. That game winner was the most painful in-game moment. Now, I think it's the most painful I've ever felt. That 2016 half-court shot, I know it was regular season, Steph, though. That one, I remember feeling just defeated and broken. I don't know what. I think it's just because that shot should never go in. So you can't compare apples and oranges. But I think this is the biggest heartbreak I've ever felt within a game in Thunder history. Shout out to Lost and Unbound. If you are following my page on Instagram, follow my page to get this stuff that happens here. Okay, I went live. I was on a run, kind of just processing what happened because I was in absolute shock, as I'm sure many of you were. And all of a sudden, Lost and Unbound comes on the podcast or the live stream, and he starts like comforting us Thunder fans who were sad, like a little like a Thunder angel. And if you don't know who Lost and Unbound is, he's a huge inspiration of mine within the social media Thunder community. Obviously started out as more of a video game YouTuber, but everyone knew he's a Thunder fan. He has that famous reaction to Kevin Durant leaving. It's all trash. You're all trash. That beautiful, incredible video. He dropped a diss track on Kevin Durant. Kevin is a snake. We use that in a lot of my posts. We love Lost and Unbound here at OKC Will to win, and I think we see ourselves in him a bit, and so that moment was huge. So the game 1 heartbreak kind of was brightened by LNU. So thank you, Lost and Unbound. If somehow you're seeing this, bless up, man. You're a legend. Game 2, Thunder go out and respond, take care of business in Thunder fashion. I've seen a lot of people online saying in this past couple weeks, and I guess all summer, stop saying Thunder are one of the best teams ever, guys. Stop saying that. I don't remember one play from their season. There was not one cool play they had. Okay, and there was a lot of cool plays. If you actually watch basketball, you would realize there's a lot of cool plays Thunder do. Maybe they're not dunking all over people and shooting half-court shots and making game winners because they put themselves in the position where they don't have to do that crap. They don't need to be flashy to win. They just handle their business and play basketball the way it was meant to be played. That is how the Thunder played basketball in Game 2 and in so many games all year. Took care of business, respond. Game 3. This is when this is the game where I think it was the most discouraging loss for me. 116-107. Indiana beat Oklahoma City, and it wasn't any game winner. It wasn't any flashy thing that happened. It was Indiana used their depth and used their defensive capabilities on SGA and beat the Thunder literally playing our own game. That's when I got scared. We're down 2-1. They beat us in a way I hadn't seen anyone else beat us all season. Oh, crap. We're in trouble. And then comes the second biggest game in franchise history. Game 4 against Indiana in Indianapolis. Once again, this is one of you're going to have to compare the tape between Game 4 against Indiana and Game 4 against Minnesota. Different situations, I know, but the way in which the Thunder once again had nothing going. I compare it almost to Game 3 at Dallas last year. The Thunder are able to win, not last, I guess 2024 playoff series against Dallas. You guys remember Game 3, that game, when the Thunder had nothing going, that they scrapped and found a way to win. Found a way to win. And, or no, it was Game 4 against Dallas. It was Game 4 because they were down 2-1, tie it to 2-2. It was Game 4 to bring it back to OKC for Game 5. We know how that series ends, but that Game 4 was huge. Made us think we had a shot, right? In the same situation, down 2-1, approaching a Game 4, the Thunder, obviously in the interviews, the Thunder are very nonchalant. Mark Dagnall, Shea, Dub, everyone's going to be like, we approach the game like it's, just another game, 0-0 mindset. We just got to go find a way to win. But deep inside of you, you're thinking, we have to win this game. This is virtually a pre-game 7 to game 7. If you go down 3-1, you're basically toast. Especially to this Indiana team who is so dangerous and so eager to win a championship. They dug deep and they found a way. SGA, in that game, he scored, I think it was 15 points in the last 4 minutes, 38 seconds of that game. The most anyone's ever scored in that stretch in a minute of a finals game. He took over and won us that game, and he led the charge, but everyone else contributed defensively to find a way to win. They had the will to win, and they won. And it was beautiful. Game 5, the Thunder handle business once again. They take care of business in their Thunder way, not flashy, not arrogant. Take care of business on your home court. Actually, screw that. That was flashy. Jalen Williams, 40-point performance. J-Dub, you're incredible, man. All-time great performance from Jalen Williams in that game. We'll get more into him later. Game 6, similar to Game 3 in Minnesota, the Thunder absolutely collapsed. And you're like, oh, crap. Once again, how do you go out and win in Game 7 after falling apart in Game 6? I mean, in this whole postseason, you feel like the Thunder kind of dominated, and at times you weren't worried. But it was very up and down, like a lot of bad losses. I mean, even Memphis, Game 3 in Memphis, we were down about 30 points. They found a way. They found a way to win that game, but still, you should never be down 30 points to Memphis. It was just a very up and down postseason, but they found a way and they responded. And that's the beauty of it. Game 7. The most anticipated sporting event I will ever see in my lifetime, I think. On your home court to get your first NBA championship in the state of Oklahoma. It was a big moment for our state, for our city. My pocketbook didn't like it, but I knew I had to be there. And I was there. And, I mean, there's not many words to describe that night that adequately. 103-91 Thunder, and the first, I'm hoping the Thunder are able to win multiple championships in this stretch, in this little dynasty they're building here. But nothing's going to compare to that first win. It was just incredible. I went live, talked to you guys. I love reminiscing about that day because it was just absolutely amazing. What a year. What a year. We'll get into some individual shout-outs. Alex Caruso, okay? Aside from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was the most valuable player on our team throughout the playoff run. I remember all year, you hear the noise. Did the Thunder lose a Josh Giddey trade? Come on, guys. Us Thunder fans, we never had a doubt in our mind. Alex Caruso was going to bring it for the postseason. We brought him in to do what he did in the playoffs, and he earned every bit of that paycheck, and that trade was every bit worth it for everything he did in that season, in that postseason. Brought us back in Game 3. Helped us win Game 4 in Memphis. I mean, he was critical in that Memphis series. Look at Denver. He said, I want Jokic. Give me Jokic. I'll take him. I'm going to rip the ball from that guy's hands. And he did. He played physical and clean defense, okay? Did his job, and then some. And Alex Caruso, if you're watching this somehow, some way, thank you. Thank you for winning us a championship. Because obviously not one person won the championship for the Thunder. But I can tell you this for darn sure. If Alex Caruso was not on our roster, there is no celebration, no championship, and we're a second-round exit team once again. Isaiah Hartenstein. He came in, did what needed to be done all year, well worth the money, finally got us some size in that. Obviously, Chet's tall. Got us some width, okay? And did his job, took the bigs. He did a great job on Jokic all series as well. He did a great job on Gobert. Bonjour, Mr. Hartenstein! Aside from that, we're not worried about Doris Burke, though. She can screw off. We're not worried about her. Lou Dort, consistency and toughness all season long. What more can you say? Obviously, as we go through this podcast, we're going to say more than a couple sentences about each player because they deserve it. But Luguentz Dort, from coming in the league in 2019, I remember watching him kind of come out of the ashes from nothing, like so many Thunder players have, undrafted. No one believes in you. Sam Presti takes you under his wing, and Lou Dort. I always said I'm not LeBron James. Okay, I'm not capping. I have family who can fact check me on this. I always used to say, man, if Lou Dort can get a 3-point shot, he's going to be incredible because he has that defensive tenacity to where if you have that defense, you're going to be in the league. And from the start, Lou Dort made it known, I'm going to be in this league because I can guard anybody. Rookie season, he was taking LeBron James, putting his hand, maybe it was year 2. He was putting his hand in his face, waving it around. He wants all the smoke. He brings a toughness and a grit and a consistency that no one else on this team brings because Lou Dort, you know what he's going to give you every single night, and he never wavered, and he gave it to the Thunder every night, and he gave it to the other team. And he is a problem in this league, and I hope he's a Thunder for life. Jalen Williams. Where do you start? I guess I started at his 40-point Game 5 performance, legendary. Took huge strides, became an all-star last season. Elite scorer. He knows his spots, he gets to his spots. That little fade kind of floater he likes. Those mid-range jumpers. It's butter. And also, I don't want to not mention what he does in the defensive end. His build is a problem. I mean, he's got the build and the talent to have a legendary NBA career. Think the Scottie Pippins of the world. I don't like to compare players, but Scottie Pippen and Jalen Williams is something I see. We'll get him to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Michael Jordan. We will. But yeah, 5-year, $287 million contract starting in 2026 for Jalen Williams. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, we're going broke. We're paying him that much money. Guys, how old is J-Dub now? Hold up. Let's check. How old is Jalen Williams? Age. Here we go. 24 years old. I was going to say 23, but I was like, no, I think he's 24. Okay. He is 24 years old, guys, and he will be a Thunder through 2031. Okay, he will be, let me do my math, 2025 plus 6. He's going to be here till he's 30. Basically his prime, Jalen Williams is going to be a Thunder. He's not there yet. He's still young. He's going to grow into, like I said, a legendary NBA player, and he's going to be in our jersey for at least 6 years of that. Okay? Chet Holmgren. We know what Chet Holmgren can do. Obviously, ups and downs last year, but very few players have battled the injuries like Chet Holmgren has battled his first couple years in the league, okay? Like, his health, obviously, is number one concern. But the fact that he has risen over that health and came onto the floor every night, good or bad, for better or worse, obviously, most of the time for better, and solely because of what he does in the defensive end. Like, don't let sometimes his offensive woes get in the way of what he does every night on defense. Blocks shots, gets boards, is a presence that you can't replicate. Okay? And Chet Holmgren is an elite player in this league and is well worth every penny of that $250 million contract, another 5-year contract. He'll be a Thunder until 2031 as well. Guys, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander are going to be Oklahoma City Thunder for the next 6 years. Okay? Chet Holmgren specifically, if we're talking, I'm not going to say he has the highest ceiling of the three because obviously Shea is like at unseen heights, okay? But if we're talking from where they are now to where they could be in 2031, Chet Holmgren has the highest range for sure, okay? There is a world we're talking about where Chet Holmgren has won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards by 2031. Multiple-time All-Star, okay? So think about it. Potentially 3 All-Stars, potentially 3 superstars in Thunder Blue till then, plus all the draft picks in the world. It's worth it, guys. This is something Sam Presti had to do. You don't go trade like you did James Harden. You don't risk this. He's got 3 superstars, and he is building it from the ground up, and he has a championship now. These 3 players are the key to getting more of those championships. And that's the reality we're going to have to face in the coming years. And that's what I believe in. I believe in Presti we trust. And so, yeah, that is where we're at. So, with that, we have gone through a successful recap of our championship season. And one more thing I want to talk about. But first, I have to introduce you to a new segment. Welcome to Hot Takes, everybody. Hot Takes, the part of the show where I bring forth my hottest take of the day. Okay? The hottest take, steaming hot, piping hot, spicy, will blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind, okay? Maybe it won't. This is one of those takes where I don't think it should be a hot take, but I think the fact that I'm going to say it is going to make you think and make a lot of people be like, oh no, you can't say that. You can't say that yet. Let's see what you think when I say it. Don't think I forgot to talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I know I mentioned him a bunch, but he needs his own segment of this show. He's been great since 2022. 3 straight All-NBA first team, top 5 MVP seasons in a row. Okay, we don't need to go back to the past 2 years, past 4 or 5 years, because we know how great Shai has been. Okay, and how he's developed into the player he is today. Let's talk about one season. Last season. 3 50-point performances. 2-time NBA Player of the Month. Second player since Michael Jordan to reach 30-plus points per game. 50-plus% shooting. 5-plus rebounds. 5-plus assists. 1.5-plus steals. 1 block per game in a single season. 70 consecutive 20-point games. Passing Michael Jordan to third all-time. Only 1 sub-20-point game performance all season long. 10,000 points in 368 games, the fastest to reach that milestone in Oklahoma City Thunder history. Led the Thunder to 68 wins, the best record in franchise history. 81 total wins on the season, obviously with playoffs included. Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kobe Bryant. 3 big names, right? You like those 3 names? Jordan, Olajuwon, Bryant. They all 3 of them have 14 playoff games with 30-plus points or more. One other man has joined that list. His name's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, okay? The most points in a playoff run by a Thunder player ever. The 12th player to ever put up 3,000-plus points in a single season. Top 10 all-time in win shares per 48 minutes with a total of 0.316 in win shares, the highest since 2016 Curry. If you're wondering what a win share is, it's a measurable contribution to team. So somehow they measure how a player contributes to their team's wins and different metrics. So kind of like, how is he helping the team win? He's top 10 all time in that in a single season, highest since 2016 Curry. Okay. And by the way, I'm just getting started. 688 points in the playoffs, most by a point guard ever. Most points scored by a player in the first 2 finals games ever. 72 points in the first 2 finals games. History books, checked. Again, 31 points, 10 assists in the finals game. In game 5. The first since Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. MJ, Kobe, as shaded that list there. Game 4 of the finals, I think, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's best game ever. He scored 15 points in the last 4.5 minutes, like I mentioned. Most ever scored in that time in the finals since 1971. The most 30.5 assist games in NBA playoffs history with 12. He scored 37.2 points per game. Won the scoring title. All NBA first team once again. Most valuable player of the NBA, SGA. Your Western Conference most valuable player. Brought Oklahoma City its first and only NBA championship. No one's ever been able to claim that. Okay? Finals MVP. Since then, he signed the largest contract in professional sports history and released his own signature shoe. Ladies and gentlemen, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the greatest basketball player in Oklahoma City Thunder history. SGA is the greatest player in Thunder history. Now, we'll always have our personal convictions. In fact, it would be hard for me to ever say that any player is my favorite player in Thunder history. over Russell Westbrook. But everything I just said, combined with the fact, I mean, if you gave it to me alone and told me this superstar player would bring the Thunder a ring, that alone would make me think, oh, he's probably the greatest ever then. Because I value as an NBA fan, a lot of people, I'm surprised, but a lot of people differ in this thinking. I value championships greater than anything else. And Shea can say what no other superstar in Thunder history can say, in the fact that he brought us a ring. Obviously, maybe he had more help. There's debates there, okay? But the fact of the matter is, he will have a ring in his hand, and he hoisted Larry O'Brien on the Paycom Center floor. And that's enough for me. Also, you can add everything else he's done too. I mean, that just supports the claim. But yeah, SGA, you have the crown, my man. Congratulations. I'm sold. I am sold. I don't know. Let me know. Is that a hot take or not? But yeah, that's our first hot take segment in the Will to Win show history. Okay. Let me know what you think. We can keep that going. So that is a longer recap segment than we'll ever do probably the entire season. But we had a lot to recap. Guys. Okay. So now let's get into the preseason a bit. We reflected on the greatest season of Thunder basketball ever. Let's take a look at what's to come and what's happening right now. Most of our roster is back. Let's give a moment of silence for Dylan Jones, Adam Flagler, and Alex Toukas. 3 Thunder legends, 3 NBA champions. We love those guys. Let's give a quick intro to our newcomers. Thomas Sorber, 10th overall pick. Or no, wait. I think it was 15th. Let's check. I should know that. Was Thomas Sorber. 15th overall pick. Correct. Okay. Prayers up for his ACL tear. That just sucks, man. What is our luck with rookies getting hurt? It's terrible. But we love Thomas Sorber. I'm excited to see what he can bring in a year. And obviously, the Thunder development program is unparalleled. So we'll see him. He's going to make strides and improve and become great through his injury recovery with our staff. So we'll love to see that. Jay-Z and Gortman, former Texas legend, G League player, 22 years old. I want to shout him out because I turned on the game. I'll be honest, I didn't watch much Summer League, guys. I needed a break. It was a long season, a great season, but a long season. I loved every second. But it was summertime. I was out in the lake, guys. I have to confess. 13.5 points per game in 18 minutes in preseason so far. Okay. He's shifty, man. He's shifty. He's got a little bit of a bag. Like, he's a fun player to watch. I recommend turning on these preseason games looking at Jay-Z and Gortman. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Jay-Z and Jazian. I'm sorry. But look into him. He's fun. Interesting shot mechanics. Interesting mechanics. Unique. He's a unique player. I like him. Chris Youngblood, 3-point specialist. One of my friends said the next Isaiah Joe. Bold claim. But hey, that can't hurt, right? 20 points versus Charlotte on 7 for 11 field goals. He dropped off since then against Dallas. But obviously, he's got game. I saw him play in college at South Florida a couple years ago. He's a great player, man. And yeah, who's at Alabama last year. So he's been around the block. He has experience. He's played in those March Madness games. Excited to have him. Malavi Leones and Nikola Topic, welcome back. Moment of silence for Nikola Topic and his surgery. Actually, I mean, it's just a surgery. He's okay, but I wouldn't want to have that surgery personally. Actually, I don't know the details of the surgery. I joked on my account that he got neutered. I don't know if I can even say that here. But that's just, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was that. But no matter what it was, hey, prayers up to Nikola. We can't wait to have him back and play in his first game. We've been chomping at the bit to see him play. And we saw him a little bit in preseason in the first game, but we'd love to see him in a couple weeks. So get well soon, Nikola. We love you. And yeah. So now it is time for another new segment of our show. right, y'all. Welcome back to the part of the show called Hats Off. Hats off to you, Thunder fans, for being here and sticking around with us in this episode. So, I'll stop talking like that now. But I'm from Arkansas. I live in Oklahoma. We're the Oklahoma City Thunder. We gotta have a couple elements, of our Western culture here, our cowboy hats and our fun. So, that's what the segment is. It's called Hats Off. Okay. So here's my plan with Hats Off. All right. This is going to be an evolving section of the show to where every week we're going to have a player who has had a great week and who needs their own shout out. Okay. Needs a really good shout out. And at the end, we're going to say hats off to them. Take our hats off. Say hats off to you, whoever this player is. And we're going to keep a running total. Who's going to be the hats off champion at the end of the season? Right now, it's zeros across the board. But it's preseason. We can go ahead and start giving hats off to people, can't we? I don't see why not. So, this particular player, all right, has played in a few preseason games at this point. I want to shout out him in a specific game, a game that a lot of you probably are forgetting about because we lost, and it wasn't a great performance. But they did battle. Thunder battled in this game, and they put up a good showing against the Dallas Mavericks this past Monday. Okay? This particular player had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal in this matchup. All right. And he had the task of guarding Cooper Flagg in his first preseason game. All right. He frustrated the crap out of him. Held Cooper Flagg to only 10 points in 14 minutes. Obviously, Flagg played pretty good. He's going to get his buckets. This player, man, he fought and he showed tenacity. I like what I see out of this dude. Reminds me a lot of Alex Caruso. Reminds me a lot of a little bit of Lou Dort. And think about who he's getting mentored by in training camp practice right now. Those two guys, plus Casey Wallace, plus everyone. This is the perfect place for this guy to develop and grow. And I think he's going to get some real PT this year. And I think he's going to be a weapon. So without further ado, hats off to Mr. Brooks Barnheiser, everybody. Round of applause for Brooks. The first hats off winner in OKC World of Win history. Hats off to you, Brooks. You made Thunder history now already. You're just getting going, but you've already made history. So congrats to you. We love you already. Can't wait to see what you do, okay? Well, that was fun, everybody. Thank you for joining me and hats off. That was a fun segment. Hope to keep that going as the season goes. And eventually we'll have guests on here. Sneak peek to that. We'll have guests on here. We'll have more fun things going on. And that hats off total will grow quickly. And we'll keep you updated as we go. Place your bets on who do you think is gonna have the most hats offs of the year. Brooks Barnheiser with an early lead, though. So we'd love to see that. Next thing I want to talk about, and we're getting towards the end here, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention this particular person, because as a Thunder fan, I think it's my kind of moral obligation to discuss this topic right now in the state that it's in. And I'll be honest, as a basketball fan, I'm extremely frustrated. As a Thunder fan, even, I'm frustrated with the fact that our fans and our management isn't really exploring this at all. And that is, you guessed it, Russell Westbrook. He is jobless right now. One of the greatest point guards in NBA history. One of the greatest Thunder players in franchise history. Has a lot left to give, a lot left in the tank. He's a good basketball player, a good NBA player, a good man, a good guy who deserves to go out in a way not like this. And he's currently without a job. No one's picked him up. And if you've been following my page, kind of against the popular belief among Thunder fans, I've been saying all summer, I want Russ back on this team. Look, I know what you're going to say. Does it make sense, X's and O's wise? No, it doesn't. It does not make sense. You are right. But at this stage in his career, if nobody's going to pick Russell Westbrook up, why wouldn't he just come back on the roster? He doesn't have to get PT. If he's really jobless and nobody wants him, Let's pick him up. Give him the homecoming and the love he deserves that he hasn't gotten anywhere else. Show him how much we love him and appreciate everything he's done by giving him the best however many years he wants on a vet minimum to come and sit it out and get some rings. That's what I think we should do. Now, is that sound disrespectful to tell Russell Westbrook, you're not going to play? I think this conversation, if we pick him up, if we were to pick him up, we have to have and say, look, we have a lot of talent on this team, Russ, and we really think you could do a lot to help mentor them and coach them up as a veteran on this team. And being there in the locker room, being there for these things. Look, you love the city. Your family loves the city. You've built enterprises here. You've built your wife's built companies here. You've built a life in this city. Why not come back and come home and call it your home, and ride it out and get some rings, and really end your career on a high note? If this is the end for Russ, why not? Okay. As you've heard the man say so many times, why not? One last why not? Why not come home? Why not do what everyone tells you can't do? Come home to the Thunder and finish your career as an NBA champion. Imagine the motivation for this roster. If this young team needs one thing, they need to continue to have that motivation. Complacency is the thief of joy, okay? Complacency is the thief of success. And the one thing, I'm not too worried about it. I think this Thunder team is very mature. The one thing that could kill this team, though, is complacency. I almost think that a new variable coming in that's not going to affect their chemistry, only help it. Not going to affect their on-court performance, only help it because he won't see minutes outside of garbage minutes, right? It would only help. It wouldn't hurt. And it provides that motivation that shatters complacency because you're not just playing for yourself. You're playing for the man who built the court you play on. He built the locker room you sit in. He built the city that now loves you and you love back and that you call home. That was built on this man's shoulders, and he needs a championship ring to take home when it's all said and done. And it is in your hands, youngsters. It's in your hands to go get that for him. Imagine as fans what that would feel like to root for that every night. That's something I want to be a part of. Is it unrealistic? Maybe. Does it sound crazy to you? Maybe, and I accept that. That's fine. In my mind, that's the dream. And I would honestly be sad to see him go play in Houston with Kevin Durant because that would just piss me off. But at the end of the day, maybe I have to accept that. As long as he's on a roster, it's okay. But he needs to finish his career in a Thunder uniform, and I'm going to die on that hill, and I'm going to be very disappointed if I die on that hill, and that's not a hill we would go up. So I'll leave you with 2 words. You can say anything you want and give me any reason why we shouldn't. But I'll just leave you with this. Why not? So everyone, as you know, another element of Oklahoma is our weather. We have lots of tornadoes, lots of storms. It's very unpredictable at times, right? And we're also called the Thunder. We're a weather-themed team. So why not kind of our last segment of this podcast is going to be called Weather Report, where we kind of show you what's ahead for the week and maybe even further, and just talk about what's coming as we wrap up the show. So we got two preseason games this week. Our last quiet week, really. At Milwaukee on Tuesday at 7 p.m. You know what? I'm not going to touch much on these games. It's preseason. We're not going to see very many minutes from guys that are going to get a lot of minutes in the season. We could. Home versus Denver on Friday at 7. I doubt we'll see anybody play that game. I honestly doubt we'll see a lot of minutes from any substantial player in that one because we got a big game on Monday. And last thing you want is anybody getting hurt on Friday. That'll be fun, though, see the home crowd one more time before we go off on our, probably the biggest regular season game in Thunder history. Kevin Durant coming home to watch you hoist your own banner. That's the storyline that you want to be a part of. Obviously, we'll touch on that next week. That's the next podcast. Obviously, the next episode will drop the day before that game. So that'll be really fun to talk about and discuss with you all. But yeah, this week, we're looking at those 2 preseason games. Denver, and Milwaukee. Who knows who they'll put on the court. Like, Dallas put their guys out there. It was fun to see our guys rise to that occasion and give them a run for their money. But yeah, other than that, we're looking forward to the regular season. The next time you see me, like I mentioned, is the day before opening night. We are basically here, guys. We have a week to go. It is happening. 25-26 season is here. So, some things to ponder as we go on and venture on our own this week, and we leave you to it. Who's going to take a leap this year? Who is going to take that leap? We might discuss this next week. We're a young team. Someone's going to step up and take a leap. Is it Kaysen? Is it Jay Will? Obviously, everyone's taking leaps every year, but who's taking that next step? My mind goes to Chet Holmgren. If he can, like I mentioned earlier, if we're talking about levels to potential versus where he's at now, Chet's got a lot. Chet can go do some amazing things, guys. And so I really want to see him stay healthy, first off, and really take that leap into stardom this year. That's what I want to see from him. But anybody could do that. Anyone can step up this year and make some big moves. And I hope everyone has an opportunity to do so because they deserve it. So yeah, the sky is the limit, guys. We are a young team. The sky's the limit. I want you all to have a very, very fun week, okay? Enjoy the last soaking minutes of being a champion of last season, all right? The season hasn't started yet, so we're still champions. And you know what? We'll always be champions. Don't ever let anyone say, reset, let it go, it's done. Obviously, that's the mindset our players need to have. But as fans, wear this dang shirt with pride. Wear that hat with pride. You know what? We'll be champions forever. We'll be 2025. You know, the Chicago Cubs, what year did they win? I forget what year they won. Was it 2016? When did the Cubs win the World Series? 2016. I see freaking car stickers for that everywhere. And that was 9 years ago. And I'm not hating on them. I respect that. These fans got their ring and they're partying. Let's do that. Obviously, we want more. We're humble and we're humble and we're hungry. And we're going for more. So, but never let anyone take away what this last season brought you as we kind of step away from it. You won't see me mention it much next week in this season because we have a lot of other things to talk about. So this was our reminiscing and celebration podcast, and it's been fun, guys. It's been a blast to do this. Like, we're here, we're doing it. The Will to Win show is here, and we're wrapping up our first episode, and I can't wait for y'all to see this, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. And if you're still here, thank you for watching till the end, man. Y'all are legends already, and I can't wait to get to know each and every one of you in the comments and just messaging, whatever. Reach out. If you ever need anything, reach out. If you have any questions, comment, anything, let me know. This is interactive. This is a place. This is not just me talking. This is a forum for Thunder fans. As you're going to see, I'm going to bring people on, Thunder fans, fans from around the league. We're going to bring them on, and we're going to talk. We're going to discuss, and we're going to have fun on this show. This is a fun place for fans. It's a forum. Should call it the Will to Win Forum, all right? Have fun. Enjoy it. Be yourselves. Thunder up. At the Will to Win Show, Spotify, YouTube. Go subscribe. Go like. Go follow those pages. At OKC_Will to Win on Instagram. That's my OG home right there. That's where I had the most followers and probably the most content uploaded throughout the week. I'm not only a 1 week thing, guys. I'll be doing game recaps still. I'll be doing memes. I'll be doing my same stuff on the OKC Will to Win page. So if you want to see me throughout the week, go there and I'll be posting stuff and posting my opinions as we go. So you know what? Message me there. Reach out to me there. Don't see me once a week. Go reach out. We'll see you guys, and thank you once again for joining me on this show. I'm so excited for this season with you guys. This has been so fun, and Thunder up, baby.
Preseason's an ending.